Okay, welcome to Vino. Today's presentation is in English because we are in Greece. Next to me is Ktima Gerovassiliou. Did I pronounce it right?
Yes, one of the few people that pronounce our name correctly. Very
Thank
good.
you very much. So, thank you very much for being here and filming here at your wine estate. Can you tell us something about the history of this
Of
famous
course,
estate?
of course. So first of all, me and my siblings, we are the second generation of the estate. Everything started in 1981 when my father, Evangelos Gerovassiliou, started to revive the 2.5 hectares of family vineyard here in the region of Epanomi. Epanomi is the name of our village. Our village Epanomi exists more than 6,000 years. It's a really old, ancient village. And also there is winemaking more than 1,500 years in this area. However, we were the first, let's say, winery that it was built here. Until we made the winery, almost all the citizens, and they're still doing, they're making their own homemade wine, and of course Tsipuro. So it's a region with a long history. Yes.
Yes.
Tsipuro. Have you tried it?
Yes, I've already tried it. It's quite nice.
It's
So
really
after the meal
interesting.
or...
We do it a little bit different in Greek.
Okay.
First, we drink Tsipuro, not after the meal, like a grappa style. We do it during the meal, but we are choosing a different type of food.
Okay.
It's mainly tapas style. In Greek, we call it mezes,
Yes.
and it's mainly salty things or fried octopus, seafood.
Yes. We already tried this.
Perfect. So we're doing during the meal.
Okay.
Or we start with Tsipuro and then we continue with wine.
Okay. So next time we are at a
Take
restaurant,
notes.
we do this.
Perfect, perfect. Today in our family estate, we have around 110 hectares. It's an own, private-owned vineyard. We don't buy grapes or must. This is our philosophy. First of all, in order to control as far as we can the quality. And the second main reason is the climate change. If you have your own vineyard, you're able to do the research in your own vineyard and adjust the practices that you do easier.
Yes,
and
of course.
Earlier.
So, and your estate is very famous for one grape variety.
Exactly, Malakousia.
Malakousia, yes.
Exactly, Malakousia. It's an ancient white Greek variety. It's a variety that comes from central Greece. However, it became famous in northern Greece. What happened with Malakousia and why it's associated with Evangelos Gerovassiliou, as they call him, my father, the father of Malakousia,
yes.
So it's my sister Malakousia, is that he was really lucky because he was in the right time and place in the late 70s. My father, before starting making the winery here, he was working as an enologist in Chateau Porto Caras.
Mm-hmm.
And he was under the umbrella, the help of Émile Peynaud. My father was many years the assistant of Émile Peynaud in Bordeaux, and Émile Peynaud started to collaborate with Chateau Porto Caras in Chalkidiki, and my father became the enologist there for around 23 years. During that time, his late professor, Mr. Logothetis, used to try to find some vines that are unfamiliar around Greece. Because, you know, in Greece, of course, we had phylloxera, as all the European countries, but also many years before we were under the Ottoman Empire.
Yes.
Which meant that many vines were disappeared because they used to remove the vines for their religion. Yes. So many Greek varieties were disappeared. One of them was Malakousia, and on top of this, Malakousia is really prone to diseases, so many people stopped to produce it. So back in Porto Caras, his late professor, Mr. Logothetis, he found Malakousia in central Greece in a pergola. He took some samples They took it to my father, they vinified Malagousia, they multiplied the variety, and for many years, more than 20 years, my father really analyzed the clone of Malagousia, and he started to communicate this new variety. Imagine that time it was different compared to today.
Yes.
Today, everyone wants Greek varieties, support indigenous varieties. In that time, they wanted international varieties to sell them easier abroad. So my father really tried, and after 20 years, more and more wineries started to produce Malagousia because it's a variety that it's well adapted in different terroirs. And today, all over Greece, you can find Malagousia and really nice examples and a range of Malagousia.
Yes, we tried some examples and they are great.
Yes.
They're great. And they have a special fruitiness, and it perfectly matches to the food in this area. It's seafood and, well, meze.
With vegetables also you can, it's a variety. This is why I love it, because you can see some Malagousias that are easy drinking style, but if you can use different techniques and a special terroir, you can have a really premium, really complex type of Malagousia that some wineries, we are one of them, that we see the evolution of Malagousia. It's really, really interesting. It's really interesting. We're gonna try Malagousia later.
So here is one of your vineyards. What other grape varieties do you plant or do you produce here?
So we produce Greek and international varieties. However, we focus more on Greek varieties. Around the 70% of the vineyard is Greek varieties and the rest international. The white Greek varieties are Malagousia, as we mentioned, and Assyrtiko, the most famous variety comes from Santorini. And some red Greek varieties are Xinomavro, the most famous Macedonian variety, Mavroudi, Mavrotragano, that comes also from Santorini, and Limnio, which is the variety that we cultivate more from the reds here. It's the most ancient Greek variety. They mentioned this variety in the piece of Aristophanes in 5th century BC. It's the first variety that they found written in a piece as Limniambelos. That's why they call this variety as the most ancient Greek. And comes from the island Limnos. That's why it's Limnio. And from the international whites, we have Viognier, that we were one of the first in Greece that we cultivated Viognier in 1983 in collaboration with the University of Thessaloniki, Chardonnay, Sauvignon Blanc, and Red International, Syrah, and Merlot. However, something that is going to change in the future is the variety Merlot. We have decided to remove Merlot because of the climate change. It doesn't mature the way it used to be. So instead of Merlot, we start to cultivate Limnio, the Greek variety, because it's the answer to the climate change. And over there you can see a small part of the vineyard that we have removed Merlot.
And when do you want to start cultivating Limnio?
We already have some Limnio. Now we find some parts of Merlot and we do replantations. We have a master plan because we cannot do it at the same time, everything.
Yes, of course.
We started with that part. We are going to leave it for 1 year. Next year we are going to plant Limnio, and in 3 years it's going to give us production. It takes time, unfortunately.
So, is it possible to move on?
Of course.
To the next?
Of course. We can go to the production area to see a little bit how we produce the wine here in our estate. And then we are going also to the Wine Museum Gerovassiliou.
That would be great.
We are collectors.
Thanks.
Let's go. So here we are outside the production area. We call this area reception. Is during the harvest here we receive the grapes for the grape crusher and to start the whole process. And for the white wines, we have some different machines from the company Pera. We do cold maceration and press together. These machines, they show us that incredible results because we take the best part of the juices. We do it for all whites except of Assyrtiko.
Yes.
We don't do cold maceration for Assyrtiko because it gives a bitterness that we don't like. And with this machine, we have 3 different entries. In the first entry, it goes directly to a tank, which is the best quality, the free-run juice. Based on the pH, it's changed to the second entry that goes to a different tank. That it's a quality that we are not sure if we're going to use it. And the third entry, there we change a little bit the numbers of the pressure. We press it more. And we put it in some tanks that are outside. And this type of juices, we sell them to other wineries.
Yes.
So here in Ktima Gerovassiliou, we use only the free-run juice and some part of the press, just like 20%.
Okay.
In order to keep the high quality, because we don't do entry-level wines.
Okay.
This idea.
And after that, you put the white wines into steel tanks. I think.
The varieties that are Malagousia and Assyrtiko goes to steel tanks where alcoholic fermentation starts. For Viognier, Chardonnay, Sauvignon Blanc, the French varieties, undergoes barrel fermentation in French oak barrels. So we have this type of difference.
So what is the size of the barrels? Are they barrique barrels?
They're barrique 225 liters.
Yes.
We are going to see them.
Okay.
We use this type. Different style, different type of wood, the technique that they burn the wood. Some of them are with steam, some of them are with fire, some of them is a technique that we put them in the oven style.
Yes.
So we use different type of barrels for the whites.
Okay.
And usually we use around 60% second and third use of barrel and 40% new barrel in order to keep the main characters, the primary aromas in the front.
Yes.
Also, what we do, and we're going to see during the tasting for Malagousia, is that one quarter of Malagousia undergoes barrel fermentation for the single vineyard Malagousia because it's a variety with medium body. So we put some quantity in the barrels to give more structure and body to the final wine. And if you want, we can see a little bit inside the tanks and how it works.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so we move to a little more cool spot of your winery.
Yeah, this is the best area where you can stay during the summer.
Yes.
The temperature is lower. Of course, we have done like about climatic architecture in order to keep the low temperature, which is important not to use a lot of energy to cool down the tanks. And the last 3 years, the whole winery, the production and the other 3 buildings that we have, they work 100% with solar energy, which was a really important step. Because during the harvest, we use a lot of energy for the tanks. So in this particular place that we are right now, it's a production area mainly for white wines. We have more tanks for white wines because we produce more white compared to red. Because we produce more Malagousia. Like imagine that 50% of our vineyard, it's Malagousia.
50%?
50%.
Oh.
My father really loves Malagousia, as you can understand. So like around 75% of our production is white and the rest is red. Here we have some tanks that are full because we have some production from 2024. Some of them, of course, are empty because we have sold this production. The good and the bad thing of our estate is that because we don't buy grapes or must, every year we know our production and the demand is higher compared what we can give from the supply. So we are trying to manage a little bit the production, and to have an idea, the 65% is consumed here, locally in Greece, and the 35 is going around the world.
Yes.
Asia, Europe, everywhere. We want a little bit to give more abroad because they want, but because Greek market really support us all these years, we want them to be satisfied.
Of course.
And to have, you know, this balance.
So it's quite interesting because in Germany we have some problems with the wine market because, well, there are less people who drink wine and less wine is sold. And it's quite interesting that you cannot produce enough for all of the demand that you have.
You know what? This is happening right now. But what you mentioned about Germany, first of all, we have seen with our wines, with our exports in Germany, that the market is not in the right position as it used to be.
Yes.
But there is a global concern about the wine consumption. In Greece, usually we are like 5 years late.
Okay.
So we know that in the next 5 years, consumers, they're going to drink less. That's why we keep our production in this level.
Yes.
We want to, as far as we can, improve the quality, but regarding the quantity, we are going to keep it like that.
Yes, of course.
Yes. So, but it's an issue, the consumption.
Yes, but you don't think about producing wines without alcohol.
Oh, now you are talking about something that we had today, a meeting.
Oh!
So what we are thinking, to be honest, this year we are going to try a machine from France to make low alcohol, no non-alcohol.
Okay.
The idea is to try this machine. It's the newest machine that exists. The idea is to have around 7% alcohol, compare, imagine to have 14.5 and etc. We don't want to go to zero alcohol because it's going to be difficult to give body. We don't want to put sugar, or it's not sparkling, you know, or this. So we are going to try with maybe malagousia and assyrtiko to have this combination to see the results. But it's something that we really, we want to try.
Okay, of course.
Yeah. The consumer has changed. Like I see from myself, in the past, I used to see some beers without alcohol, and I was really skeptical.
Yes.
And now I can say that the majority of the beers that I drink, it's non-alcohol.
Okay.
So it's nice to try and see. What's your opinion about low and non-alcohol wines?
I haven't tried any low alcohol wines. I'm not very interested in no alcohol wines because I haven't found anyone that really tasted me quite well. But with beers without alcohol, it's similar. They're quite good at the moment, and they produce good stuff. And mostly I also drink beer without alcohol because it's easier. You have children and you want to drive.
Or you want to drink more.
Yes.
And with less alcohol. I think the idea here is the one that's going to make a good quality, low alcohol. I'm not going to the zero alcohol because we are convinced that we cannot do something good. We will see.
Yeah. I think if it would be possible to produce wine with zero alcohol that tastes exactly like wine with alcohol, that would be perfect. But I think it is impossible. It's
impossible, unfortunately. Because the body comes from the alcohol. Then you are changing a lot the time. But I have seen that also, like in the UK, they changed a little bit the law about non-alcohol wines. In the past, in order to have wine, you had to have 6% and higher. I think it's 6. In order to call it wine, but now they're going to change it, and zero alcohol, you can call them wine.
Okay.
So you see that
Yes.
it's changed, and also UK changed a lot of things. It means something.
Yes, of course. It's a big market.
Yes. Good.
So, what is your next?
Your next
Step.
So, this is the production. We have one area, but I don't know if it's interesting. We have some wooden tanks and amphoras, but okay, if it's something common, we can skip.
I think the barrel cellar is...
We can go to the museum. Where is the
Yes.
the cellars?
Perfect. Okay, so now we have arrived next to the wooden barrels.
Exactly. We are in the level of the white fermented wines. So in this level we have Viognier, Chardonnay, and a small quantity of Malagousia. We use only French oak barrels from different type of companies and different style of barrels. At the moment, okay, you don't know Greek, but
Yes.
let me explain. For example, here it's written water.
Yes.
Because you know the
Yes.
wine has bottles, so
Yes.
some of them right now, I think most of them are with water.
Yes.
And a small quantity of Chardonnay, it's here because we
Okay.
are gonna bottle the vintage of 2024 in some days.
Okay.
Below to this level, we have another cellar similar to this one for the red wines.
Okay.
All the red wines of Ktima Gerovassiliou mature at least 1 year and then mature in the bottle.
Yes.
This is the idea. This is an area that we control, of course, the temperature. Right now it's around 14 degrees and 80% of humidity, the classic.
Yes.
Yes. And we are making a new area because we don't have a lot of space.
So you need more space for the barrels.
Yeah. To be honest, we need more space in order to make it easier also for the people that works
Yes.
for the barrels. Imagine some wineries, of course, they have different layers, but it's too difficult to work.
Yeah, they're quite heavy, the barrels, so I think
Yeah.
it's
better to have
easier.
more space,
Yes.
exactly, and to facilitate the work for the workers, because it's a tough job, and in the barrels, because it needs to be really meticulous with batonnage and all
Yes,
this.
yes.
Like the same person that does batonnage in this barrel is gonna do it the next day. So
Yes.
it needs to be really precise
Yes.
in order to have like consistency, which is what we want.
By the way, I wanted to ask you how many people work here?
So permanently we are 85,
Okay.
but during the harvest we are plus 40.
Okay.
It's a medium-sized winery, but because we do the harvest by hand, we don't do manual harvesting, we need around 90 people in the vineyard.
Mm-hmm.
And it's something that we are really skeptical for the future, because all over the world it's so difficult to find workers. It's a tough job, it's a seasonal job, so it's something that we really care, and we are trying to find solutions for the future.
Okay.
We used to have a machine for manual harvesting, but we saw that it destroys our vineyard. However, if in the future there's a machine that can do it, we are gonna consider it.
Okay.
The good thing is that if you have seen in the vineyard, we have a lot of space between the lines.
Yes.
In order to be ready for the future, if we need to go manually.
Okay. So you consider a lot of things before recultivating a new area for wines.
Yes, we see at least 40 years ahead.
Okay.
Otherwise, we're gonna see the problem in
And-
front of us, and then if we need to change something, it requires, you know, a lot of years.
Yes. It's too late if you
It's too late.
if you think of
Then the
didn't
next
think of-
generation
Yes.
are gonna take care. For example, like something that it's really interesting about the vineyard, it's that, as I mentioned, we have 110 hectares, but we didn't buy these hectares in one day. We did it through like 50 years.
Yes.
which means that when we bought something, in one line my father used to put Malagousia, in the next Viognier, so we have then some mixed varieties. So we have a master plan for the future to separate them. We already started, in order to have in one part Malagousia, in another Viognier, in another Chardonnay.
That's perfect.
This, it requires 3 generations.
Yes.
So, but it's something that we need to do.
Of course. Okay, now we have arrived in the museum.
Exactly. We are in the Wine Museum Gerovassiliou. It's a private collection of my father. He first started to collect corkscrews, and today we have one of the top 10 best collection of corkscrews in the world. There are around 2,600 corkscrews from 17th century till today. We have corkscrews from France, from Germany, from around the world, and it's really nice to see the evolution, how they used to consume the wine and how important was the corkscrew in that day. Yes. Corkscrew, it was like a symbol that they could show them their hobbies, their interests, so it's totally different compared to today. Except from the corkscrew collection, we have a symposium collection with some old and ancient vessels for the Greek symposium, and some other tools about viticulture and vinification.
Yes.
And we can have a look now if you want.
Yes, thank you. So now we have arrived for tasting some wines.
Exactly, the best part.
Yes, it's the best part, of course.
So we are gonna start with the 5 white wines that we produce in Ktima Gerovassiliou. The first one is the estate white,
yes,
which is a blend of 50% of Malagousia and 50% of Assyrtiko. Then we are gonna move to 100% Malagousia. And then we are going to the other range, which are the French barrel Sauvignon, Viognier and Chardonnay.
Oh, that's quite interesting.
Yes. Let's see, let's see. Shall we start with the white?
Yes, of course.
Okay. So, estate white, as I mentioned, is 50% Malagousia, 50% Assyrtiko. It's 100% stainless steel tank. We don't use barrel for this. The unique history about this wine is the fact that for the first time, my father, for this blend, he decided to blend Assyrtiko with an aromatic variety.
Yes.
Before that, only Santorini used to make Assyrtiko.
Yes.
So he introduced a new blend for Greece.
It's also quite fruity, but I think it's you can also taste a little bit of the soil.
Exactly. This is the main character, like it's fresh, complex at the same time, with really crispy acidity of the Assyrtiko.
Yes.
It's a really nice lemon aftertaste.
Yes. And well, this acidity also is quite refreshing.
Yes. Yes.
That's quite nice for starting.
For us, it's our beloved one, you know.
The beloved one?
Yeah, yeah, because this wine goes very well with the Greek cuisine.
Yes.
It has this fresh character, but at the same time the complex, the acidity, that goes perfectly with the food that we prefer.
Yes. What would you like to have with this wine? What would you like to eat? Some grilled fish and
for me, this is the best.
The best.
Yeah, like grilled fish next to the sea, only with some olive oil, and instead of lemon, I have my lemon here.
Perfect. And this is so, well, the basic quality in your vineyard.
The thing is, regarding the quality, it's in the same range as the other. However, we had to make, a range, of course.
So let's say this is the basic wine and not basic quality.
Exactly. It's the estate white, the first regarding the price, as we can say, but regarding the quality, it's
the same as the others.
Yes.
And we, with our wine blog, we also say that well, this is the entrance of the winery, and it has to be quite good and outstanding, because this is the wine which I think is sold most at your winery.
Exactly.
And so it has to be very good.
I totally agree with you. Like the first wine of each winery needs to be the right representative. Like if someone makes a medium quality wine as an entrance, the consumer is gonna try this and not going to the next step.
Yes.
So we always give our best in this wine, because it's gonna allow the people to try different things.
Yeah, I really like it, and it's perfectly for seafood, for grilled fish, maybe some vegetables also.
Exactly, and salads, and this wine can age for some years. Although we have this fresh style, because of the acidity, it has the ability to mature for some years, and we see some different style as it goes. Like the aromas start a little bit to be hidden, and acetico comes to in the front.
Yes, but I also smelled some herbs in it, and it's quite like the area here, so it represents perfectly the area.
And now that you saw the area, you totally understand the terroir in the...
That's perfect. So, the second wine?
So, before we try Malagousia and Acetico, now let's try 100% Malagousia to see the expression of this great variety.
Okay.
Thank you. Malagousia 2024. The vintage of 2024 was the weirdest vintage that we ever had.
Okay.
We harvest in the end of July. Usually the harvest starts in mid-August. It was the first time in history that we harvest that early.
Okay.
It's something for all over Greece, it happens, and for some part in Europe too. The results were really nice. Like if someone knew the vineyards, he could manage the situations. So as we did, that's why this vintage was really good, although it was a little bit tricky. Here we see, of course, the floral part, Malagousia.
Also the herbs and some of the trees of this area.
And some, I feel a little bit of chamomile. I don't know if you...
That's good. That's really good.
And you feel the richness of this wine because of this small quantity of the barrel fermentation.
It perfectly represents this type of this area in Greece, and it's really good. It's perfect fits here.
Yes, yes. And that's why it's like the flagship.
Yes.
That's why some people, they say Malagousia, and they think that it's this Malagousia sometimes.
Yes.
It's really associated with this variety. And also over there we have, like, from Wine Spectator, it was among the 100 best wines in the world in 2019, Malagousia.
Yes.
It's a really special wine that everyone can understand the richness and the uniqueness of this variety.
Yes.
And also the last years we have some 3 different biotypes of Malagousia that are made in our estate. And we vinify them differently to see the differences, but we bottle them all together here. But it's something that we do a lot of research in Malagousia and to see in the future the different style.
And it really goes well with the climate change, does it?
At the moment, yes.
Okay.
If it goes like after 50 years, we don't know what it's going on. At the moment, it's really okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it goes very well. It's really, Malagousia adjusts very well.
Okay.
Very well.
We had some thinking of, and we talked a lot with winemakers, and the local grape varieties, they really go well with most of the climate change, but the imported ones, they have problems.
This is what we are waiting to happen. Like when something was created in an area, it was created based in this situation.
Yeah.
So that's why they can mature and they can adapt very well. So it's an answer, you know, from the soil to the winemakers that focus on the indigenous variety. There is a reason why.
Yes.
So we see this.
And Malagousia is also a very old grape variety, and so well, it had to deal with lots of things.
Exactly.
And so I think it's a good way to produce wine with these grape varieties.
Exactly. But also, all the Greek varieties are almost the same because all the Greek varieties they were born in a situation with a lot of heat. Especially during ancient times, it was hotter than today. So the Greek varieties are ready for the climate change.
Yes.
Just you need to change a little bit the way you produce it. This is what we believe.
Yes. And I would also eat meat with this Malagousia.
Yes, some meat. Okay, I'm gonna tell you something. I really like fried chicken.
Yeah.
I love it. With Malagousia, for me, this fried chicken with Malagousia.
Fried chicken from the grill and crispy, tasty.
It goes perfectly. Perfectly.
Oh, that's nice.
But also we have seen that abroad Malagousia goes very well also with Asian food.
Okay.
In UK, for example, and in New York, that Malagousia it's in the market with the presence. In many Asian restaurants, it's there. Goes very well with and Vietnamese food, also with Peruvian food like ceviche and all this Malagousia is perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you. And now we move on to the barrel fermented wines. We start with Sauvignon. Although we love Greek varieties, we also love international, because my father studied in France, in Bordeaux. So, except from the Greek varieties, he also invested in some international varieties that are really well adjusted in our vineyard. This part of Sauvignon Blanc, it's a smaller plot of the vineyard.
Yeah.
Undergoes barrel fermentation, French oak barrels, 40% new barrels, 60% second and third fuse.
I think it's quite interesting because I really think there are two styles of Sauvignon Blanc, and there's the New Zealand style and there's the French Loire style, and this is French Loire style.
And I will say that this is how I call Greece and how they call Greece.
Yeah.
It's old new world. So we see the old, like French style, like the barrel, but you immediately understand that it's not from France.
Yes.
It has some tropical sense that say what's happening? And then the alcohol, you understand that it's coming.
But it's not that loud.
Yes.
It's well, it has a little bit more understatement.
For me, I find it really interesting also in the mouth, like it has this.
I really like it.
Yeah.
I mean, it has also this acidity and its freshness, but it's fully bodied and yes, perfect.
This wine, in the past, we used to put more barrel. We used to have like 60% new barrel. But after my brother came to the winery, he changed a little bit the style to focus on the primary aromas. And for me, this is the best Sauvignon that we have. Like, you understand the Sauvignon, it's clean, you understand the barrel, but barrel it's on the back.
Yes,
like,
it's not in the foreground, it's in the background.
Yeah.
And that, I think it's important if you work with oak barrels. The oak barrel doesn't have to be in front of the wine.
Exactly.
Because, yes, it just
Otherwise
tastes
everyone
like
can do
barrel.
it.
Yes.
Then you don't need the good vineyard.
Yes.
But if you have a good vineyard, good grapes, it's a pity not to have them in the front.
That's great. And it's also has some of these herbs. Some rosemary, I think.
Yes,
I think there's also some orange.
yes.
Yes, orange.
Orange, and for me, I feel a little bit like a watermelon at
Yeah.
the end.
Yes,
Yeah.
perfect. Great.
And then we move to Viognier.
Okay.
When someone hear Viognier from Greece, say no thank you. Because like Viognier, like it can be a really boring wine,
Yes.
in my opinion. It can be flat, it can be... But here, my father and my brother, they make a Viognier that it's outstanding, and everyone is in love with this wine. It keeps the acidity, it has this floral style of Viognier, and it's a really, really interesting Viognier. And especially for blind tasting, it's nice to have this Viognier. Nobody will understand it's from Greece.
So told that there's a flowery part of this wine. But also and I think in the end it has a little bit of bergamot.
I totally agree with you.
Yeah, it isn't from France, but it really fits to the region here.
Yeah. Like you can see the aromas in the beginning can go a little bit to Côte d'Iron in some parts, but when you taste it, of course, because of the alcohol, the other tropical style, it brings you to something else.
Yes. Really great. Really great.
I'm glad. And then we move on to Chardonnay. Here the vintage is 2023.
Because 24 is still in the barrels.
Exactly. The Viognier is the wine that we use more in barrel, and we leave it for around 6 to 7 months to mature in the barrel. So it's the last wine from our range that we keep it and we release it.
Okay.
Here the French influence is more...
Yeah. And it's also not very loud, because you also have very loud Chardonnays, and this is more really the French style, with some Greek roots.
You feel the barrel more, the vanilla, all this.
But the wine can resist.
Exactly.
It fits. The barrel fits to the wine.
Exactly. And some people, my father is famous from this, how he put the barrel in the wine. Like you don't feel the wine in the barrel. It's well balanced with the flavors. This is really important. The blending, like we have the different barrels. The time that takes us to do the blendings between the different barrels, it's really, really important. And some winemakers don't pay attention a lot in this.
And I think it's also quite exhausting, because you have to mix and you have to taste a lot of things.
Everything,
yes.
These are the differences, you know. Otherwise, you blend and all and put it in the tank, but you need to be more in detail.
Yes. I think this is perfect for grilled seafood, for let's say squid, grilled octopus. I think it's also great for, if you can afford it, grilled lobster.
Yes, exactly.
That's great.
And also, I would say like a little bit of pasta with potarga, like from the fish, or lobster pasta, something a little bit with more broth.
Also some, it's possible to have some, I think it's possible to have some creamy stuff also.
For me, this is the style, exactly. Like more creamy, more body things, more buttery maybe, some things. That's why it's lobster with the butter. Yeah. Can be really nice.
Oh, that's really great.
And imagine now we are trying like only the 2023.
Yes.
Like the magic of these wines, as many other wines around the world, it's the evolution. And these wines evolved amazing. It's the most important.
Yes.
And yes.
And I'm really surprised. In every bottle you can see the choice and the work of the winemaker, because you can see a straight line from the basic wine up to the Chardonnay. You can see what the winemaker wants to do.
Exactly.
And it really also represents the wine estate, because I think if you have a blind tasting, if you know the wines from here, I think you will find the
I agree.
wine from
It's
here.
really, like, our wines are really precise.
Yes.
Like, if someone have tried something like that, I understand that it's from our estate.
Yes.
And we are trying to have this, like the same quality and better every year. We are not making Viognier like that one year and the other. The same quality and above, consistency, which is really, really important.
It's really great.
If you agree, we can move on to the reds.
Yes, of course.
Perfect.
Now you have brought us some red wines.
Of course. So we have 4 different red wines. We are gonna start with the Estate Red, which is a blend of Syrah, Merlot, and Lignon. So we have 2 international and 1 Greek variety. Here we follow like the classic alcohol fermentation, malolactic fermentation, and maturation 1 year in French oak barrels. It has this cherry, this red cider.
Yes. Some red berries, dark berries. And also herbs.
This is the wine that is gonna be changed in the vintage of 2026. It's gonna be 100% Lignon. We are gonna remove Syrah and Merlot because, as we mentioned in the beginning, Merlot is not well adapted now because of the climate change. So now we are working on this project of 100% Lignon.
Of course.
It's gonna be totally different.
It's also perfect for the food here.
Yes. And it's only 2022. This wine matured amazingly, all of the reds.
By the way, what's the price of your basic wines?
In a cellar in Greece, for example, in Germany it's the same one. For the red, for example, it's around 16 euros.
Okay.
Yes.
And the white?
The white it's around 14 point something.
That's
yes.
a good price.
It's a good price
for the wine drinker.
Yeah, because we want our wines to be accessible.
Yes.
We want people to enjoy them. I remember when I was in Dom Perignon in France. In Champagne, they told us we are really happy, like we have all this wine and etc. But sometimes people that drink this wine, sometimes they don't drink them, or they drink them in random places. We want people to enjoy the champagne. It's the same for the wines. Like we want people to enjoy, not a small part of people.
That's really good.
Then we move to a really special wine. It's called Avaton. Avaton is like in Chalkidiki, the 3rd peninsula.
Yes. Where the monks.
The monks are, exactly. Avaton means the area that you are not allowed to go. We gave this name metaphorically because my father made for the first time this blend of 3 Greek varieties, Lignon, Mavrou and Mavrotragano, which was unknown before. Here the difference is that for alcoholic fermentation and maturation we use 6 tons barrel tanks. We don't put them in smaller.
It's also very fruity, but also very, you have a lot of herbs in it. It's really, if you go outside and smell the air, and you find it here.
And especially the herbs, you find them in the Lignon variety. The Mavrou, the Mavrotragano gives more the color and the body. Exactly.
It's a very good combination, and well, your father had a great idea blending these 3 varieties.
When you're the assistant, when you used to be the assistant of Émile Peynaud, you need to be good in blending.
Of course.
Yes. And like to try different things, not to follow, to introduce things.
That was my idea of saying that, because I'm sure that your father knows what he does, but to have this idea of blending it. I think this is really great, outstanding thing.
Because he's a doer. Like if he wants to do something, he's gonna do it the next day. Like he has something, he do it. He doesn't wait. I'm gonna do next day.
Yes.
Or the same day. This wine is really interesting when it also matures, because you see in the nose that it starts to mature more, to have more jam fruits, but on the mouth it keeps like that. And you see like what's happening. It's really, really interesting in the evolution.
You also drink red wine very often? Or?
Yes, I love red wine.
But I think you cool it a little bit down.
Yes. Especially for Greek wines, we always recommend to cool them down because of the alcohol.
Yes.
Like for me, I prefer enjoying less aromas, but not to feel the alcohol.
Yes.
But it depends. Then we have two wines, in fact. We have 100% Syrah and Evangelos, which is Syrah and Viognier. Kotroti wannabe.
Oh, that's pretty dark.
Yeah. Syrah with Malagousia were the first variety that my father planted here in the estate.
Now that's the perfect wine for lamb.
Yes, I agree. This wine has a character. Okay, if someone loves Syrah, but it's really well balanced, and based on what I told you about the alcohol before, you don't feel.
No.
It's well balanced inside the alcohol. You don't.
It has some tannins, but not too much, and the oak barrel is also in the background, and it's smooth, and it's a very round wine.
Yeah. And this wine, like 1 year ago, was among the top 6 best Syrah in the world, according to Syrah du Monde. Like it's a really special Syrah, and we're really proud because Syrah is cultivated all around the world.
Yes.
Like if our Syrah was, selected, it's something really important.
Really great, really great.
And then a different style of Syrah. Evangelos, first of all, it's the name of my father. Evangelos Gerovassiliou. We make some fun some days. We say that all the winemakers usually give the names of their wives or daughters. My father wanted his name. He has a confidence, I can say. So that was his favorite blend from the days that he was in Kotroti. Of course, here we have less Viognier compared to Kotroti. It's more for the balance of the color and all this.
Wow.
It's,
but I think you smell the Viognier.
Yes.
Yes.
I feel the same.
It mixes with the Syrah. The Syrah is a little bit whiter, but the Viognier it's the one that's in the foreground.
And it smoothens a little bit the wine in a good way.
Oh, that's great.
And this wine, like 10 years old, I had one week ago, and I was like, okay. Sometimes I cannot hold my expression, like I don't want for our wines to so so happy, you know. But it was amazing.
Yeah, but if you have something like that in your glass, you can show it because it's really great.
And I feel the same with other wines, because when we go outside, we don't drink our wines. We drink from other producers.
Yes.
When something is good, I'm sure you feel the same.
Yeah.
It changed my day.
Yeah. And the opposite, if something is really bad, it
destroys the meal.
Yes.
Like in this situation, I say, give me tsipuro or a beer.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. By the way, I think this is the flagship of your wine estate. How much is it?
Which one?
The
Evangelos.
Yeah.
It's, if I remember well, 28, something like that.
Okay.
If I remember well.
Yeah. But I think we come to the end. I just wanted to add, this is not the only wine estate you have.
Yes, indeed.
We should mention it.
Okay. Like, my father, he started the winery here, the Ktima Gerovassiliou, which is 100% family winery. In 1994, he wanted to make a winery in Kavala. It's a region that during the Neolithic period, for the first time, the Phoenicians brought the vines there in that area that called Dikilitas. So in that area, he always wanted to make a winery there because it has the mountain Pangeon and the sea. So he found the best person that he could choose, Vasilis, which Vasilis for Greece, he's a star, a winemaker star. He's amazing, amazing person. Comes from our village, also, and they made Ktima Gerovassiliou, which is a really, really important winery for Greece. A lot of experiments, great wines. Except from Gerovassiliou, this team, Vasilis and Evangelos, my father and Vasilis, they made Ktima Gerovassiliou Peloponnes. It means 2 heights because the vines are like that. Then with another partner, Ioanna von Vakouri, they made the first and only winery in Thirassia Island next to Santorini, which is PDO Santorini, also Thirassia. And we made an amazing winery there, amazing, mainly with Assyrtiko. And the last project is in Oumenissa. It's in northern Greece too. It's a PDO region for Xinomavro. And we have the Mikro Ktima Titos, which means the small estate of Titos. And we make there Xinomavro and Negoska, which is a local variety. So for us, the most important is the part of discovery. If we were entrepreneurs and not winemakers, the easiest thing was to make this, to double the quantity and be happy. But for us, the most important is to explore different terroirs. And that's why we have decided to do huge investments for Greece and to invest in our country and to do different things.
That's a really great way.
Yes.
Really, I wanted to say really thank you for all the time that you invested for us. And it was really great, and it was a new insight in Greek. Yes, in Greece and the wines of Greece, and it was really interesting. And I'm really happy that we could have a film here, and it was really great. Thank you very much.
Thank you, and hope to see you again.
I'm pretty sure. So thank you, and we see us next time. Bye bye.